Welcome back, friends. I hope you are doing well. It is a gorgeous day here at the farm. It's about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. It's nice and breezy. Once I start working in the sun, I'm sure it's going to feel hotter than that, but it is lovely to have this breeze. So we are only going to do two things here today. There's still plenty of work to do out here. We still have to weed and top with compost the pollinator patch. We still need to do the same thing for the seeded dahlia bed and clear out the zinnia bed. Like, there's just all the stuff at the bottom half of the farm that we need to do. But there's no rush on that. What we are going to do is transplant. So now that we have these beds prepared, I just need to go in and put the landscape staples in for the irrigation to tack that down. And then we will get our feverfew, our status. Straw flower is already planted. Status, feverfew, and then we've got some scabiosa and a little bit, like 2 or 3 seedlings because they germinated so poorly, of some other scattered stuff that has a location. I'll be starting a second succession of seeds that we'll put in very early spring, like February, in those locations. So we'll be doing that. But first, we're going to harvest. So I do want to keep those mums producing stems, and the way to do that is to keep cutting stems. So we're gonna go harvest a ton of stems, and I'll do when we get back, I'll do a really nice big display for our friends who own this land, as well as for our own house, just to enjoy. So that's the plan for the day. I'm looking forward to it. No moving compost today. We'll be doing that tomorrow. I'll get Dylan to come out here and help me again. Although most of tomorrow's compost moving is going to be in buckets by hand with, in little places, not just big dumps of wheelbarrow. So, it's a little more fiddly work, but it still needs to be done. Okay, let's go get started. First thing I'm going to do is check under all this row cover and pray that the seedlings are still there. If they're not, I'm going to be very, very upset. But let's go check. Okay, well, this is a good sign so far. I don't see any more removed for this bed, so that's good. Same thing for over here. Although again, you can see all the tiny little seedlings of Daucus that are already popping up, so I am not worried about this. They'll be just fine. All right, let's take a peek under here. These are the beds that I really don't want to lose stuff in. This is all snapdragons. Okay, everybody's still there. And these are the straw flower. Please let everybody still be there. Yes. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. So what I ended up doing at the end of the last video before I went home was I used actually T-posts to lay down along the edges of this row cover, so it really keeps it down in a long stretch. So again, yes, they can dig under, but it's going to take extra effort. I think most of the time, especially when it comes to birds, they're not going to dig under something. But most of the time with the rodents, it's whatever's easiest to get at. But I need to fix this one. You can see how it's billowing. I need to tighten that up. So this, both sides, I'll tighten up. As the sun beats down on it, they get a little bit more stretchy. So then you have to come in and make it tighter. But without it being tight, you risk the wind blowing them off, even with weight. And you also risk holes where guys can crawl under and get at all your seedlings. Okay, so the transplanting is done. I'll show you what we've got. So right here we did, I'm saving that feverfew, that's from last October. It only just started really growing in the last month or so. So that'll stay, that'll overwinter. And then these are all feverfew seedlings here. They stop right here. And then the rest of this is scabiosa. I kind of stopped growing scabby, not because I don't like it, but because it's really a pain to harvest. The stems get all tangled up. It's just kind of a pain, but I'm still moving through all the seeds that I have. I don't want to just throw out seed. So I'll continue to plant small patches of things to use up seed. Now that I've got my, these are the crops I'm going to grow from now on list together. And then under here is the status. It's looking wonderful. You can't see it obviously because it's under Agribon, but this is the most important crop to cover at this point because otherwise they will all be gone once the birds find them. I will, if I notice predation on the feverfew, which I never have before, or the scabby, same, then I'll cover them. But this bed, so these two beds, I noticed that the predation happens more in the beds that are on the edge over there, right up next to the gate to the fence, and sometimes in this bed because little guys live in this area here and also in the brush on the other side of the fence. So in general, the middle beds haven't been as affected, but I don't want them to be. So, okay, the ranunculus are almost ready. I think all but maybe one tray is pre-sprouted and looking great. So tomorrow I'll probably start transplanting those. And this whole bed right here is going to be for ranunculus, and this section here as well. And then we're actually going to put, I think I'm going to do tulips in here. I still haven't decided. I thought about doing tulips at home in the Birdie's raised bed, which would work great if we didn't have rats. Now I can do what I always do, and I still would no matter where I'm at, and cover that, I'll plant them, cover it with hardware cloth so that nothing can dig under there and eat the bulbs. But once they start growing, I can't leave that on. And I'm just worried that they'll get shredded in that garden. Because there'll be some of the first green thing coming up in the spring, and tulips are edible, and so I feel like planting them at home is dangerous. The other option is I have bed space here. That I guess is my point. I have the bed space to do it. But the other thing I can do is I have lots of crates, and a lot of growers just grow tulips in crates. It's easier that way. You just line the crate with some newspaper, fill it up with a little bit of soil at the bottom, put the bulbs in, dump soil on top. It's super easy. You can fit, I can't remember how many it is, something like 50 tulips in each crate. And so I have more than enough crates to do that with. So I might do that and still just leave them out here, but they'll be obviously covered with hardware cloth so nothing can dig them up. It's mostly the squirrels that like to eat the tulip bulbs. So yeah, haven't decided yet. I still have a couple weeks to figure that out because the tulips will arrive on November 1st. But I am juggling the idea. Like I said, I have a lot of bed space here. I just don't. So the problem with it is that I'll need to build up the sides in that section, add more soil on top. It kind of changes. It's like if I was using a whole solid bed for tulips, that'd be one thing, but like piecemeal, because I don't have enough tulips to fill up 40 feet of bed. So yeah, I'll probably just end up sticking to the crates. Okay, so I need to go home. It's 1 o'clock. I'm gonna get some lunch, and then we will have some fun making some arrangements with only 2 ingredients, which I usually do multiple ingredients. But with the mums, I think it's just gonna be pretty to just be packed full. We'll just do like a dome arrangement in some pretty vases, and one will go to our friends here who own this property, and the other we'll just keep for ourselves to enjoy. So, all right, I will see you after lunch.
all the unknown lemons thrown. May look different from what you've dreamed. Colors and contrast making it art. What if happy can be built? Tuning into all that's good. Lucky I learned what lemons can do. Lucky they let me here with you. Lucky. Ain't it funny? Thought I was lacking. Then I realized all is within. Are your thoughts friend or foe? It's your choice which way you go. What if happy can be built? Tuning into all that's good. Lucky I learned what lemons can do. Lucky they let me here with you.
Well, 3 arrangements and the rest I'm drying over here. This one is for us. This was my grandmother's vase, and so I definitely don't want to give that one away. This one's going to be for Kevin and Ty, and then this one is just also for the house because it was extra. However, these should be a lot taller. So this is this vase is too tall for this arrangement. This was too short. They should be much taller. The proportions are off, but I don't care. This is just going to sit in our entryway. I don't really care. But in general, this looks weird. The vase should be much shorter, probably like that height. But I had super long stems, so I just went ahead and grabbed that. That definitely would never go to a client. Okay, so before I close out this video, I want to give you an update on little Buffy. So here's our good girl. She is a good girl. Aren't you, sweetie pie? Good girl. She's maintaining. She's eating plenty. Every morning she gets a scrambled egg. She's got vitamins, minerals, and probiotics and apple cider vinegar in her water. And then she also gets little treats, like she's got some zucchini here. She sometimes gets blueberries and things like that. She eats great. She also is drinking plenty, and she's starting to stand up more. She's not happy with me opening this. So I've come out here multiple times over the last 2 days and found her standing in her cage. That's what we want. The consensus among all my chicken keeper people is that she probably has a vitamin deficiency, B vitamins in particular. I've even heard that those deficiencies can cause complete paralysis of the legs. And she did not have complete paralysis. She just has, it's partial. Like, she has a hard time walking, but now she's getting to that point where she can stand for a minute before she lays back down. And so every day I take her out of her coop here to clean it, and then have her walk back in. And she has a hard time getting over the lip. I have to help her with that. But she is doing better. So it's going to be a long road. Today we are going to add, once it arrives, nutritional yeast to her food and a different vet recommended B vitamin to her water. But I think I think she's going to be okay. I even saw earlier today, I came out to work out in the morning and she was laying like she is here, but her tail was up, and I haven't seen her do that in a long time. So I think it's still a long road, probably another maybe week or two. And then at that point, we're going to have to put her in this dog crate into the run. I cannot just let her go in there, or they'll attack her. So it's going to be like introducing a brand new bird all over again. So, but I am heartened by how she is, and I think we're on the mend. Okay, guys, that's going to be it for me today. I really need to go in and shower. So thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.